going on, Jerome's? Your Minnesota Vikings are back at TCO Performance Center Bar and Grill, the beginning of voluntary offseason workout programs. And so coaches can't get their teeth into the players for on-field work, but they can have meetings. And Brian Flores said that the team had a meeting today, talk about player forecasting development, all that stuff. And I just love hearing Flores talk ball. Like, could do that all day long. And also, at the end of the day, Brian Flores is basically just a giant football nerd, and I love that about him. I love it. The guy lives and breathes football. How can you not get fired up? Listen to him talk ball. So the Vikings absolutely got themselves a great one. But some takeaways from his press conference. So no head coaching interviews, and you could tell like he was very surprised by it, but also he reiterated that he's very thankful to be here with the Vikings. He's very happy to be where he's at. He also talked extensively about how this offseason has been able to spend more time with his family than any other year. So not changing jobs, not moving, not doing anything like that. And also, Flo's got 3 kids, and one of them had a birthday. Wish him a happy birthday. And also, it is very funny because since he mentioned one kid, he had to mention the other 2 because otherwise the other 2 would get jealous. And as a father of 3, I fully understand that. Fully understand that, man. But so you can tell, like, he is a little bit flabbergasted by the fact that he didn't get any head coaching interviews. And yes, the lawsuit is still out there pending, but he has a really good perspective on things about be where your feet are. So live in the moment, do what you can do right now. Don't stress over what you can't control. And I think that's very healthy and very good perspective on things. And the Vikings, we said it at the time. I mean, the Vikings probably got some side eye from some of the other owners when they brought in Flores as a DC. And Flores is most certainly being frozen out by the league because of the pending lawsuit. But that's okay. I mean, the Vikings, Flores definitely deserves another crack to be a head coach. His time with the Dolphins was ruined more by Stephen Ross than anything. But with Flores, the Vikings got themselves a fantastic defense coordinator, de facto head coach for that side of the ball, and he could be here for a long time. And I think that he is enjoying, that balance of family and ball. So, I mean, the Vikings obviously will benefit here. Harrison Smith returning, summed up with one word: joy. And also, it doesn't seem like he's going to be dialing back Harrison Smith's role anytime soon. Like, he's got some plans for Harrison, and also in free agency, he stressed versatility of the players. Andrew Van Ginkel, of course, was his guy from back in the day. Also, Blake Cashman, physicality, versatility, same thing with Grenard. And that's exact. They got into talking with Kwesi about free agency and the draft, and that's something that is going to be a collaboration. And this defense, I can't wait for this defense, man, because he talked about how flexibility is paramount here because it can change up how your looks can be, what your fronts are, what your coverages are, and basically throwing the offensive curveball at every single time. Like, they don't know what's coming. It's going to be great. It's going to be, and also remember, Flores basically took over the defense last year with the same personnel as 2022, turned them into a top 15-ish defense last season. I can't wait to see what he can do with a couple of off seasons of his guys, of his dudes, all up in here being taught and coached up the right way. And Van Ginkel's a big piece too. And he talked about how Van Ginkel's role is going to be amorphous, where he's going to be an edge rusher, he's going to play off ball, he's going to play coverage, he's going to do a lot of things. I said that he's going to be a Metellus adjacent type player. And Josh Metellus last year was basically positionless. He was a box safety, he was a split safety, free safety, linebacker, slot, outside corner. He was all over the place, and Van Ginkel is going to be more of the same. And Kevin O'Connell earlier in the offseason alluded to more man coverage this season. And Flores, he didn't want to let the cat out of the bag, but he did allude to that they played a lot more zone last year than he's used to with the defenses he's been involved in. So, beep, bop, bop, oh, poop. I mean, I think the Vikings are going to play more man this year, especially a lot more press man, and really get aggressive with things. And so he was asked specifically about corners in the draft. Quote, "You can never have enough corners." I think that's where his mind's at right now. Because even though the Vikings cornerback room is like relatively deep, with Blackman, the Braun Shaq Griffin, the guy Byron Murphy, who he talked about very highly, and also you got Booth and Evans. So I mean, the Vikings are still deep at corner, but I still think the Vikings will invest at some point in this draft. They have 2 first-round picks. They have 7 picks on day 3. I think that they are probably going to come away with 1, maybe 2 corners in this class. He did say that he wants Murphy to play more slot in 2023. In 2024. Nailed it. But the whole thing about Murphy is that he said that Murph played outside a lot last year because he had to. That's where they needed him to be. But ideally, Shaq Griffin, Blackman, or Booth Evans or rookie TBD could step up and be more consistent on the outside. And that's what he said about Booth and Evans specifically, where so you can tell, like, he wants more from Booth and Evans, and also given the draft pedigree, Booth, a second-round pick. Evans started last year but was benched several times, and he stressed consistency and technique, and that's what's going to keep you on the field. And also, find this issue, but obviously with the NFL team, offense practices against defense and vice versa all the time, and it's fun, the collaboration that goes on with the offensive coaches. So he specifically talked about Coach Coop, offensive line coach Chris Cooper, a number of times. And it is a collaboration because it's not just straight up competition. Like, hey, we're going to kick your ass today in practice. But going through and talk about, hey, does this look give you trouble? Why does it give you trouble? And back and forth. And would this be a problem for you? And I love that. So Flores is a beautiful mind defensively, especially with pressure. And Chris Cooper, the offensive line coach, it's going to make everyone better. And Flores is going to have a better understanding of O-line, and Cooper's going to have a better understanding of pressures and fronts and everything like that, and it's great. It's absolutely beautiful, man. I love it. Where, again, getting into the football nerd stuff, that's where it's at. But I love this time of year because hope springs eternal. So you're back in the building. You're getting the install. You're getting the off-season player forecast of what's going to happen with all these players, as well as looking towards the draft class. And how do these guys fit in? How can you teach them? How can you get them to be consistent? How can you get them to play together? How can you just have them play as one? It's questions that Flores and Kevin O'Connell are going to have to answer. But like I said, I could listen to Flo talk ball all damn day long. He deserves to be a head coach, but if he's here with the Vikings for a couple of seasons, we'll take it. Certainly will, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. Brian Flores press conference today. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.